About cleaning up Lake Erie and the process that is being proposed by the Lake Erie Foundation. The idea of taking the Maumee River watershed, breaking it down into a subshed, a smaller area, start to put these practices to work. Now, a lot of people will say that there are farmers out there who are already implementing these practices. Your point, Jim, is that we can go out to these test sites and see what they're doing. This is like taking a science experiment now and putting it out there in the real world and see what works, right?
Exactly. You know, I respect the fact that in Ohio, throughout the country, the farmers are successful, they work hard. This isn't about good and evil. This is about people trying to do the right thing. We're the most food secure nation in the world. We do so to the blessings of our farm community. So they have an intention to do good things, but we've got to help them. And bringing the science community, the academic community to their door, working together, should help them accomplish that and still be successful in a very challenging economic time.
Here's a thorny question that they've already dealt with in Columbus, and it goes back and forth, and maybe it puts us in the dilemma that we're at right now. When we come up with practices that we can quantify with the data we're talking about, right, Matt? We can prove, have a baseline, and then if what's working or not, boom. So every farmer says, yeah, I'm in. Or are we going to have to say, no, you must be in? It's the question of mandates versus voluntary compliance. What do we do with that?
We believe that that's what this pilot project will show.
Right.
I think it will encourage the voluntary practices to be more readily acceptable. And there's going to have to be help. Most of these practices are expensive for the farmer to implement.
I was going to say, farmers incur costs doing these best practices, is what I wrote down there. Yeah. They do incur costs, right?
Yeah. It's possible one of the most effective practices is very capital intensive, like applying the nutrients subsurface. It takes a lot of capital equipment. They're going to need help on that. And I think that is going to be what we're going to learn after 3 years of implementing a pilot project.
That's the long-term help. In the short term, to get this thing going, you said earlier you're encouraged by the governor. His H2O high. The state legislature, I believe, approved $175 million. Will that cut it?
It's a great start.
Yes.
I think in combination, you know, Senator Gardner and Representative Arndt brought House Bill 299 to the table. There's funding there. We've talked with Senator Portman and with Ms. Capter, Congresswoman Capter. They know that GLRI money is available to bring into this package to do this over a 3 to 5 year period of time.
Great Lakes Restoration Initiative.
Exactly, exactly.
So money's there.
We believe the funding.
We should point out too, Matt, H2 Ohio money isn't all just targeted for Lake Erie. We want to make that very clear. Even though we're excited about what DeWine is doing, that's not all coming up here. There are other parts of Ohio once they share that.
And there are needs elsewhere for tertiary wastewater treatment plants and so forth.
Right.
We have to share. You can't take it all.
All right. So eventually we're going to have to, I don't know if you buy our way out or pay our way out of the agriculture part of this problem?
There's going to have to be a little bit of both. You know, one way or another, the farmer can't bear the burden of all the costs.
Okay.
And so whether that's passed on to the consumer or some type of way through adding maybe a couple cents per pound of beef or chicken, that's the type of cost that eventually we're all going to have to pay for clean water.
Right. We think most people, given the scale of what the solution is, they will agree, and there's confidence that, quite frankly, they'll support that. They want clean water. We all want clean water.
So our next step, I want to leave my viewers with this, that A, there is forward movement, all right? There is at least some reason for optimism. I know Jerry can be the cynic 5+ years into this thing, but there's reason for optimism.
Right.
What's the next action step that we need to look for or demand from those in power?
We need the policies that are issued with the budget that is scheduled to come out sometime in early October to have this pilot project.
You guys were in Senate Bill 2. You were in, then you were out. But now I understand there's movement to put it back in.
We feel there's positive momentum right now to put this proposal back into the budget for 18. I
can watch for that in October?
That's when we believe it's going to come out, yes.
All right. I'll stay on the phone with you. You don't stay on the phone with me. I'll call Columbus.
Okay.
If it's not in, we'll have him at my table to find out why. How about that? I'm just excited about something. Some independent folks who, I mean, they have a stake in the game, but they're not pro or con one side. It's not drawing lines or saying we got a problem. Can we fix it? We believe we can. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really needed to hear that after all these years. Jim Stouffer, Matt Fisher, Lake Erie Foundation. You guys can come back to my table anytime.
Great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us. And when I come back, I told you earlier about maybe the hottest city out there. I could make that argument, and we will, at the table next.